Good morning. Okay, right now I want you to get out your math papers, your math notebooks, and please give it the heading 5.1, Solving Proportions, and today's date. Okay, we're going to have a real quick unit rate review. Okay, you buy 5 packs of gum for $2.10. What is the unit rate? Unit rate is the price for one. Please take the time to write this down, pausing the video as you need. Okay, so when we do this, we are comparing money to packages of gum. So let's just make a note that that's gum packs. So we could write it as a proportion, $2.10 over 5 to get to 1. That is definitely one way to do it. That's not the way we initially learned. If I did that, I would have to divide by 5 to get here. $2.10 divided by 5. Okay. The second way we would do it is we'd just say, well, I'm going to take my $2.10 and I'm dividing by 5. So 5, let's see, decimal point up, 5 goes into 2, not at all. 5 goes into 21 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. I'm going to subtract. I'm going to bring down. 5 goes into 10 twice. 2 times 5 is 10. Going to subtract, so each pack of gum is 42 cents. So the unit price is 42 cents per pack of gum. The cost for one package of gum. Again, stopping to write or pausing the video so that you can write what's on the screen and keeping up with what we're doing. Okay, so next we're going to look at is writing a proportion. So there are 3 referees for every 16 players. Write a proportion that gives the number of referees are for 128 players. So the first thing I want to do is I want to label it. I'm comparing referees to players. I've got my small group and I've got the large group. The small group would be the 16 players, and the large group would have 128 players. Now, see, referees, there are 3 referees for every 16 players. That is a proportion. We have 128 players. Players will go on the bottom because I've got referees on top, players on the bottom. We have to be consistent. And this is my R. R is what I don't know. So I'm going to solve this with cross products. So 3 times 128, this diagonal right here, let's go ahead and circle it so we can see it, equals my second cross. I'll just put over here, which would be 16 times R. Well, grabbing the calculator, 3 times 128 equals 384. 384 equals 16 times R. Didn't need that. Okay, next piece is I divide both sides by 16. So 384 divided by 16. R equals 24. So 24 referees are needed for 128 players. There's our data. Okay, moving on, we're going to just solve some proportions with cross products. So I have got 21 is to P as 252 is to 78. I'm not seeing anything fabulous that would multiply by 21 to get to 252. I'm sure it's in there. I'm going to go ahead and use cross products. So P times 252 this diagonal equals 21 times 78, which would be this diagonal. There it is. Okay, so 21 times 78, and again, I'm using a calculator here. 1,638, we knew it would be kind of big. So 252 times P equals 1,638. I divide both sides by 252, and I wind up with P equals 6.5. So this P is 6.5. Okay, and we're going to just quickly check and make sure that the answers make sense. If we just went to 80 and I multiplied it by 3, I'd get about 240. So this is at least 3 times as big. If I go to 7, it's a little bit smaller than 7, and multiplied by 3, I would get 21. So this looks pretty reasonable. The top number is almost 3 times bigger than the bottom number, a reasonable thing. So I always check with a quick estimate. Okay, make sure it's on your paper. And let's move on to the next one. I have got 5 is to 12 as x is to 36. I am comparing 5 over 12 to x over 36. This one is a pretty straightforward one because I see I can multiply horizontally. 12 times 3 equals 36. So 5 times 3, 3 is common to both of them, equals x. It looks like that. Let's go ahead and do this with a pen that's a little bit easier to see. Okay. So 5 times 3 makes 15. X equals 15. Okay, so 5 doubled is 10. This is a little bit bigger than doubled. 15 doubled is 30. 36 is a little bit more than doubled. These answers sound reasonable. If we come up and look at our hockey players. So we came up with R equaled 24. 3 times 5 is 15. So this is a little bit more than 3 times as big. 24, well, let's round that to 25. 25 times 3, 3/4, would be 75. This is more than 3 times as big, so it sounds reasonable. More than 3 times as big? More than 3 times as big. Or I'm sorry, did that wrong. 3 times 5 is 15. I'm not sure where I came from. Got a wrong answer there. Sorry, guys. So 3 times 5 is 15, so it's 5 times as big. We went to 25. 25 times 5 is 125. So again, 5 times bigger, a little bit more. Reasonable answer. We always try to check our reasonableness. Okay, for the last problem. Okay, I don't know what 2.8 would multiply by to make 70. So I'm going to use cross products. So 70 times R equals 2.8, 2 8/10 times 3. So 70 times R equals, grabbing our calculator, this is an activity around proportions, not around multiplication. If it was about multiplication, we would be using our calculators. I'm going to divide both sides by 70 to get my R alone. Let's grab the right marker because that pink is hard to see, I've discovered. So 8.4 divided by 70, this is going to give us a kind of a small number, 12/100. R equals 12/100. Let's see if that makes sense. Okay, let's just compare 70 to 3. Wow, that's like 20 times. Okay, if I go from 3 to 70, that's 20 times bigger and then some. Okay, so that's huge. So this is about 1200, so about 12 cents. If I have 20 groups of 12 cents, that'll be about $2.40. That is definitely a little tiny bit bigger than $2.40, 2.4. So this is a reasonable answer. Thank you.